Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Susie, I just was showing them the harmony.
Oh yeah.
Can't see. That's it.
Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. And then generally, maybe after one or two mantras, the kirtan leader will set the timing. So, Hare Krishna, 1, 2, 3. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. So generally, when the kirtan leader sets the time, when the harmonium player generally sets the time, then after that, the madanga player will start off. So, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, and then after the madanga player starts, then usually the Kartal player should follow the madanga, so come in after the madanga player. So generally, sometimes in kirtans, you will see that some Kartal players, they'll start off even before the kirtan leader set the timing, or even before the madanga player has begun. But that disrupts the kirtan. So the kirtan leader, he's the one facilitating the actual kirtan. So the melody, the timing, etc. But if someone sets the timing instead, then it's a disruption. Maybe the kirtan leader wants to start off really slow. Maybe he wants to start off faster, for example. So always wait for the kirtan leader to signal, and then try and wait for the madanga player. And then after that, then you can come in with your kartals. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. So, and if there's an experienced Kartal player who you can see playing, then you should always learn from them and follow their example. So maybe if you want to learn, if you're still slightly inexperienced, wait for the Kartal players or the experienced Kartal player to start off, and then slowly follow them when you get the timing right. So maybe in the beginning, it's better to clap your hands first. So just to get the timing right. If you're not really having much experience, or you're not as confident in playing the kartals. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo. Like that. So first thing we step it up a little bit. Sorry about that. Is that all right?
Hang on, let's see if it's maybe.
That's fine. Okay. So the first thing is to remember that kartals, they are like a metronome in a kirtan. So in a kirtan, you can't have a metronome playing which keeps the beat, which keeps the timing. So kartals are essential to keep the timing right. So if the kartal player loses focus and starts to speed up a little bit, then that means the madanga player will also have to speed up, because generally the madanga players, they listen to the kartal players for help with the timing. So if the kartal player speeds up, then that means the madanga player will speed up, which also means that the kirtan leader will speed up in the singing. And generally, that just leads to increased speed when the kirtan leader doesn't want that, and that disrupts the kirtan very much. And another thing to talk about is that the kartal player, or the kartals in a kirtan, they can either destroy the kirtan or they can make it much more beautiful. Yeah, they can enhance the kirtan. So if you play it really loud and clanging and out of time, that will disrupt the kirtan, that will destroy the kirtan. Not only will it, can it disrupt the kirtan for us, but also disrupt the kirtan for Krishna. And the main reason we should be doing kirtan is to please Krishna, right? It's to glorify Krishna for his pleasure. So if we're not playing kartals right, if we're disrupting the kirtan, it's not going to be good for Krishna's ears. It's not going to be good on his ears. So that's the main reason we try to decorate the kirtan really nicely and just make it a really pleasant sound. So I said this before. So the kirtan leader, the madangas should be half the volume of the singer. So the Maha Mantra should be pronounced, like should stand out. So the madanga player is half that volume, and then kartal players should be half the volume of the madanga player. So the madangas should play quite softly, like especially in the beginning, and then kartal players should be even softer than that. So, for example, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. So it should be quite soft. And so there are many different ways to play the kartals, right? So you can play it like this on the, can everyone see? It's on, like on the side bit. So
no, your hands are in the way. Yeah, see. There you can see.
yeah. So like it can be played on the side like this here. It can be played like slightly out, so angled in like this, or it could be played open like this. So and a slightly louder sound. So in different parts of the kirtan, you should play it at different places. So if you want a really low sound, the lowest sound is on the edge right here. So and then louder sound Okay, so there are two different. So starting off learning now. So everyone, make sure you have your kartals. If you just come in now, have your kartals ready. And first thing you need to learn is how to hold your kartals. So everyone, make sure that there is adequate string on it. So there's enough string to be able to wrap around your finger twice, and also enough freedom to move your kartals, because you're not going to be playing kartals like this all the time. You know, you're going to be moving about like this. So make sure there's enough string first of all. And now how to hold the kartals. Let me know if you can't see. Yeah, okay. So hold your kartal like this. Put your finger on the
Edge.
just on the end of the string, near the base of the kartal. Now you want to wrap the finger around once or twice, but try it once for now. Then keep it like this. Then take your other kartal, put your finger again, put your finger here on the base of the kartal, end of the string, and then again wrap it round. Wait. So here is your finger here, then wrap it round once, and there we have it. Then it should be loose enough to wiggle slightly, but still keep quite a tight hold on it.
Good. Sure. Yeah. Good.
So do that one more time. So your kartal is here, put your finger here on the end, then wrap it round one time. And then again the same here. So you got your other kartal here, put your finger on the end, then just wrap it round once. Good. Now it can be on any part of your finger, like it can be towards the tip of your finger, so your nail, or it can be to the first joint. I've got some spots, some spots here on both fingers. That's where I always wrap my kartals, and it's, you know, the string rubs on your kartals, so over time you'll get that. So try to vary the placement if you can. Okay, so make sure it's on tightly, but also there's some freedom to wiggle the kartals. All right, so now you've got this. Now there are basically two different types of hits, so closed and open. Now closed, so we're going to learn first how to do it on the side here, like so. So holding one kartal here, and then hitting on the side. So closed sound is just as it is. So just hit it and keep it on there. So like that. So you want to hold it like this.
Hold this one like this.
Or they're not that.
Not the language string.
Ah, okay. Maybe I can just
Cut it.
do it this way.
Can I cut it?
Okay. Yeah. Well, you haven't got it wrapped around.
No,
Can I cut it?
no. This is how I use it.
Yeah, you should cut it.
Try this.
But yeah, try it.
Try
Try that
this.
one. Okay. So have your kartal like this steady, and then on top here, just closed sound.
Can I not cut it?
Go on.
Okay, so now the second one is open sound. So open sound is, again, you bring it down here, so, but then you release it immediately. So, no, so hold it like that. And then hit it here. On the edge, on the outer edge. Hold it like this, on your left hand,
Left
Left hand.
one is like this.
and then on top.
Like
Here.
this?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
It's like keep it here and then hit it here.
On this. Okay.
So closed and open is hitting it again, but then letting it go straight after. So going to stand back. So like that. So it's like close sound, but then you're immediately taking the kartal off. So it's like, yeah. All right. So let's bring those two together. So then close sound and open sound. And then open. So closed and open. Okay. So now the most common beat is 3-beat in kirtan. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yep. So we usually hear that. We usually hear that that beat being played, but it's technically not a 3-beat; it's a 4-beat. So it goes 1, 2, 3, and then there's a pause on the 4th hit. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are actually 4 hits, but on the 4th hit we don't hit. There's no beat on the 4th hit. So pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. Right. So now let's play that on the side. So then we've got 1, 2. So 2 closed and then 1 open. So 1, 2. Again, back. Hold it like this.
Like this?
No, this one.
So
left
straight,
one is
straight,
like this.
left one, straight up, and then hit it here,
This one is straight.
and then hit it.
Like
Right.
this, up, upper.
Like this.
That's it, yeah. That's it. Okay. So there are different ways to hold the kartals. I like to keep the noise down by covering this kartal with most of my fingers. So I have the
Left hand.
So this is my left hand. I have the thumb on top here, like this. And then I have the fingers on the bottom wrapped around, like this.
Hi, Parth, you're muted.
I mute him. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
About putting your fingers on the cartel to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically on the left hand or on my less dominant hand, you can use your, if you're left-handed, this will be your right hand. So on my left hand, I like to put the thumb on top and put the fingers on the bottom here. Now, my right hand is just my thumb on top and my fingers just off the kartals. So now I take the kartal here, I hit it twice, and then open. So closed, closed, open. When I open it, I take my thumb off to make the loud reverberating sound, the open sound. So when I'm doing it closed, I keep the thumb on, so closed, and then open is when I take the thumb off, so like that. So you got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now let's move on to the open sound. I mean the more open way of playing. So on the side, that's when you play when the kirtan is soft. For example, when you're playing in a bhajan or something like that. Now, let's do it when the kirtan gets a little bit louder. So now it's still slow, the kirtan's still slow, still 3 beat, but then now we're playing a little bit louder. So now I hold my kartal with my thumb on left, this is my left hand, so it's just my thumb on the top, like this. And same with the right hand. So they're both the same now, like this. So now I hold my left kartal like this, and my right kartal will go down here. So you're covering about 1/3 of your kartal on that hit. So it's the same, 1, 2, 3, pause, 1, 2, 3, pause. But now it's just a little bit louder. So you're hitting it on the bottom third of your kartal. So 1, 2, 3. So still close. So still keep it on the kartal, close sound. Yeah. So yeah, good. So it's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'm still taking my kartal, my thumb off the right kartal when it's an open sound. So when it's closed, I leave my thumb on. So then I take my thumb off when it's open. Then put it back on for the next close hit. So let's try doing Maha Mantra Kirtan to that. So I'll start off, and then I'll come in, and then everyone can follow after a couple of hits when you get the timing right. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. So you'll notice that my left hand is always steady. So right now, I'm not moving my left hand at all. So let's practice when it's on the side, when it's quieter. Yep. So we'll do a couple of mantras for this one here. So remember, it's on the side here. So I like to hold when it's quiet, I like to hold the left kartal so it doesn't make any sound. So I like to put my fingers on the bottom of it. And then just same with the right hand. So just thumb off when it's open, and then thumb on when it's closed. So. Okay, so let's do it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Okay. Also, when the kitchen is really quiet, when I have to play really quietly, I keep my or my middle finger and my ring finger on the bottom of my right kartal as well. So like basically all my fingers are on the kartals. So like this is more quiet than when I do this. And I have more control with the kartal if I want to do some decoration or fancy stuff. So same thing, closed, just keep your fingers on it. So like this, and then open is when you take all of your fingers off. So like that. So just keep your fingers like hovering over the kartal, but not on the kartal. So closed is on. So and my left hand is still the same, still steady, not moving. Okay. So now we can do the fast beat. So now the fast beat is when the speed doubles. So I'll give an example. So Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it's double the speed of the slow 3-beat we were doing. Okay. So the slow 3-beat was 1, 2, 3. For this, now it's okay. So I'll show you how to do that. So my first hit is gonna be holding the kartal like just with my thumbs on, just with my thumbs controlling the kartal. So now my first hit's gonna be, so this is coming down, so it's gonna strike it here. So it's gonna be an open hit, so like that. So everyone just try this. So down here.
It's not even a third, is it? It's just slightly off.
Yeah, it's not much. So you're just hitting the bottom quarter of your kartal, just in a downward motion. So like that. Now my next hit is going to be up. So first hit is here. Now it's going to be like this. So right. So it's going to be, and then you have to turn your left wrist now. So everyone get it? So it's going to be like this. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're just going to turn both of your wrists like this. So, and both of these are open. So now our third hit and final hit is going to be, so closed hit and just bringing the two kartals together. So it's going to be angled like this. So yeah, so we'll practice that slowly. So remember, first hit's going to be down, second's going to be up, and then finally third hit's going to be closed together, bringing it together. So let's try that.
Kriti, do you have something to say?
Is it just always going to be one hitting the other, or do they both come together? Is it one hitting the other? Or is it?
It's going to be your right hand. So
Okay.
you're not gonna move your left hand. You're just gonna
Right.
move.
So then it's not as if they're
just gonna
both
move
coming
your-
together. It's one coming on,
That's right.
coming to
That's
the
right.
other.
It's just gonna be. If you see my wrist is my wrist is gonna move in my left hand, but my hand isn't gonna move.
Okay.
So it's your right doing all of the work. This is just going like this. Okay. So we'll practice that slowly now. So I'll start off, and then we can all follow. So just make sure you're muted, please, to keep the sound disruption off. Can you mute Natarajan? Okay, good. So let's begin. So I'm doing it really slow to begin with. This isn't how you're going to play in Kirtan, but this is how you start off practicing. You can get faster and faster. So everyone remember, keep your left hand steady. So don't move your left hand up and down, just move the wrist. So you're just moving your right hand, just you're making the right hand do the work. So you're going to want to make sure that your final hit is closed and your final hit is both of them together. So like this. So like that, together. Okay. So we're going to go a little bit faster. A little bit faster now. So we're going to go a little bit faster. A little bit faster. So, you can go really fast, once you learn it and once you practice it a lot, you can go very fast. You just have to experiment with the different types of hits. You just have to practice. And the best way to practice actually is to kirtan. So just put some kirtan on on your headphones, and then just practice playing kartals to that kirtan. And also, a good way is in kirtan you can practice. So if you're gonna practice in the kirtan, in each kirtan, then you have to make sure that you're playing really quietly, so that you don't disrupt the kirtan. You don't disrupt the other kartal players, the badanga player, or the kirtan leader. So maybe if you wanna practice in kirtan, maybe sit a little bit far back and play softly, and then that way you can learn from the experienced kartal players. Learn the different types of beats. you know, some intricacies in the Kartal players, in the Kartal playing. Yeah, so I think that's the main way to learn Kartals. After you get the basics done, just watch other Kartal players, listen to them, and try to follow them, and you know, improvise a little bit once you get that experience.
Just so, when you did the really fast one, is that still?
Yeah.
Is it?
So the same. So you get that wrist speed after time. Yeah. Yeah. During practice, your wrists will loosen up, and you'll be able to play really fast. You know, after a while. And also, it's important to practice every day, especially at the beginning. You know, it's better to practice for 5-10 minutes every single day, rather than practice 1 hour or 2 hours once a week, because then you get that consistency and you can keep building on it every single day, rather than losing your losing your practice every week and then just starting from scratch again, you know, every single week. So every day, just try to pick up your Kartals, 5-10 minutes or half an hour if you can, you know, just play in Kirtan and learn the different beats. Also, there's different ways of playing, as I showed you. So when you're slow, you can play on the side like this when it's quiet. So you know, you can do many different decorations. And also, so here. And now when it gets fast, you can play like this. But you can also play on the side, slightly quiet. And you can also do you know, there's many different variations on how to play Kartals. So just experiment with the different hits, like, you know, there's many different types. So it's actually said that as there are 32 syllables in the Maha Mantra, there are 32 straps here, which help the Madanga make sound. And there are also, it said there are also 32 different types of sounds you can make with the Kartals. I certainly haven't made 32 sounds, but it can be done, I think. And also, it said that in the Krishna Leela, the Madanga is said to be the flute. So when Krishna plays the flute, you know, it's a sweet, mellow sound. It's a beautiful sound coming out of the bansuri. You know, it's almost a correctly tuned Madanga is almost as sweet as that flute. And when Krishna plays the flute, Radharani dances, and when she dances in time with the flute. So when she dances, her ornaments, her bangles and stuff, different ornaments, anklets, they make the sharp sounds like a manjira, like a kartal. So it said that the flute is the Madanga, and Radharani's ornaments, you can think of it as the kartals. So if you think of it that way, you know, in Kirtan, Madanga is the flute, Krishna's flute, and Radharani is dancing with her ornaments as the kartals. So if you think of it that way, then, you know, you can experience, you know, Krishna Leela during Kirtan. I read that somewhere. Okay, does anyone have any questions? There's a lot to learn about Kartals. We haven't even scratched the surface, but yeah, it's a good start. You can just practice what you've learned here, and maybe we can do another session later on.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to, you know, you got the 3 beats. That's for the slow Kirtan. Is that right? You know, you got
The 3 hits.
Yeah, the 3 hits, and then
Yeah. So when the curtain is slow,
Yeah, I just want to switch it off. Hang on. How do you switch it off?
I just want to tell you, thank you very much. You like virtuos,
Thank you.
like genius on this one instruments, and I'm really very far away from you.
Take it out.
Yeah,
I
thanks
need
very
many
much, Parth. Thanks very
years
much, Parth. It was
to learn.
really lovely lesson. Lovely to learn. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. So answering your question, so when the curtain is Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when the kirtan leader signals to the mridanga player and the kartals to go fast, that's when he switched to the fast beat. Yeah, and there are also different types of fast beat. On the mridanga, you can see. So when the kirtan is slow, this is the mridanga, and this is the Prabhupada beat, which is slow 3 beat, which you play 3 beats in the kartal. And then fast beat. So one fast beat is so generally your kartal should follow this what the mridanga player is playing on the small side. So for example, when it's fast, the mridanga can go like this. What we've learned, right? Yeah. It's doing those 3 hits, and also in Prabhupada beat, you know, it's like. You know, starting off with those 3 hits. So generally, you want to copy, you follow what's happening on the small side of the mridanga. That's an easy way to put it.
Great, thanks.
That's all right. And yeah, just whenever like this lockdown eases and kirtans start up again together, just get a small pair of kartals, like the green ones. Yes. Oh yeah. Get a small pair of kartals like this,
About 2.5 inches.
like less than the half a palm of my hand, and that's a really good. This is a really good pair of kartals to learn from, because you can easily maneuver it, and it's also going to be a soft sound. It's not going to be loud. Soft and very sweet. So whenever you're in a kirtan, just maybe sit a little bit back and try and follow what the kartal players are playing. So if they're playing slow, you know, try and follow them, play slowly, and try to keep on beat. So then that way you'll learn more and more, and also try to pick up on what they're doing and try to copy them if you can. That's how I've learned most of my stuff. And also Oh, I was going to say. Yeah, okay. Any other questions, or we can finish off here? Also, yeah, I just remembered it's important to remember not to practice in front of the deities. So if you're in the temple, in any temple, make sure that you don't practice in front of the deities when the curtains are open. Don't practice madanga. Don't practice kartals when they're open. You should just be doing kirtan for them. And if you know how to play, then you should play during that time. But if you don't really know how to play, then try not to practice during that time. But any other time, just yeah, practice any other time.
This practicing, the YouTube, if they just put a kirtan on,